It's Elizabeth with the Four Walls podcast. Today I have Kim with me. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. So, who is Kim?
Kim. I'm actually based in Canada. Back and forth between Montreal and Toronto. It's really cold here right now, so wherever you guys are listening from, if you guys have sun, I am really jealous of you guys. But I'm Kim. I am a former corporate marketing girl who turned into an entrepreneur, and that's partly due because of travel. And like other than that, I'm a big traveler. I call myself an international connector and an experienced junkie. So I just really like to experience new things and I motivate people to experience new things.
Woohoo! That sounds like such a fun job.
Yeah, there
So,
are days.
what is like one of your favorite memories that you have from your own travels?
So many things. I think that would be maybe the first time where I traveled totally on my own. And that was when I wanted to experience working abroad. So I worked for a little bit in Mexico. And yeah, that was just a really adventurous thing to do on my part because I never did anything like that before. Very memorable. Like, met so many nice people, learned a lot of things, went through a lot of challenges. And yeah, it kept me traveling.
Yeah, so how long did you spend in Mexico working?
I actually spent 3 months there. I wanted to spend longer. I was working for a hotel in Mexico, and one day we got caught in a hurricane. And after that, like everything was like upside down and really bad. So then I didn't really want to be there anymore, but I still enjoyed the experience. Like, I'm proud to say I experienced a hurricane.
And survived, right?
Yes,
The
exactly.
important part. Wow, that's amazing. So, how did you get into traveling? Like, what was that thing that pushed you?
Yeah, I think it's something that I've always wanted to do, but I like kind of only always did it when I had vacation. So like 2 or 3 weeks per year while I was working. And then like started like hearing stories of travel and kind of like thinking like, you know what, I kind of want to do something like different and like travel for longer than just a week at a time. But like I never really had the courage to do it. And then one day, like in my job, I was just like sitting there, just really burnt out and getting very stressful, right? And I like started thinking, like, is this really what I wanted to do? And I actually had to take a sick leave, right? Because I wasn't well, I wasn't feeling well, and I was like, I got sick and that. And that's kind of like what pushed me and said, well, you know what? Maybe I need to do something different because I kept hearing people tell me stories of, how they were traveling and how they were happier. And I kind of like wanted to experience that myself. So I took the leap and said, okay, well, I'm gonna take a couple of months and travel and see what that does. And if I don't like it, I'll just come back, right? Yeah.
That definitely is a good push, especially I feel like a lot of people can relate to feeling burnt out, feeling just really all of those emotions with their job. And I think that was a great pivot to be like, let's just try it. And it's nice that you knew that you could go back, right?
Yes, exactly. It's like it's something like but like you never know what's gonna happen. And yeah, you just have to try. You just have to try things.
So, how did things progress after Mexico? Did you go back to your job or did you start finding alternatives?
So that actually wasn't Mexico. So when I decided to leave my job, I took a job teaching English in Spain. Yeah. So I stayed in Spain for a couple months and I was teaching English to university kids. And like I was meeting a lot of travelers then. Like I decided then that, I didn't want to spend my time teaching. Like I actually wanted to experience travel because I was hearing people saying, I did this in this country and I did that in this country. And I'm here like, oh, well, I'm teaching in Spain, right?
Yeah.
And like teaching was totally new to me and it was a little bit stressful. So that's when I decided, okay, well, after this, I'm actually gonna like experience travel and like try to like live it up, just like I was hearing other people do.
Wow, okay. So teaching in Spain, wow, that's such a fun, like that's such like a different thing to do. Yeah. So then So Spain and then Mexico, and then now you're in this new era of you have your own, like, you're an entrepreneur now. So what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I actually run a travel community thanks to my travels. So like after I was teaching in Spain and I said I wanted to experience new things, I spent a couple of months just traveling like in Europe. And then by accident, I kind of like stumbled across this travel community and they were doing travel experiences in different countries, like a month at a time. So I joined
Wow.
them in Morocco for 1 month. And I was part of this travel community that had like different people from all over the world. And like we would like share things with each other. We would experience things together, work, not work, like do a mix of everything. And that really inspired me because like they showed me like other ways of living that I didn't really know about before. So that kind of inspired me when I came back. Like I wanted to tell people about all these, right? So I started a travel community where like we have monthly meetups like in person and online and just to share about different sides of travel that people don't know about. So travel is not necessarily like 1 week vacation, you go to the beach and you come back, right? There's so many different ways of traveling. There's so many different things that you can learn. So I wanted to teach that to people.
Wow, that is amazing. And is the community like very diverse? Is it mostly for women or?
Hmm. It's very diverse. It tends to attract people who want to find like-minded people. So, like, who were kind of like me, who are kind of stuck and, they just really want to do something different or, learn something different or just be around people that kind of like understand where they're at, right? So like I like it attracts a variety of people, but mostly like these types of people, people who just want to learn new things, find a new direction, and who are really like looking for connection, like with people who kind of get them. So like I hold meetups here where people can really connect and like learn new things from people from all over the world.
That's amazing. What a fun community that you've curated. So this is, are you still a part of the first community that you were a part of where you did Morocco and those that month?
Yeah, I am. I am still part of it, and I made a lot of friends in that community. And that's a good thing because, like, when I travel, sometimes I'll usually know somebody in the country that I travel to.
That is so cool. So what did that month in Morocco look like?
Very different from North America. First couple of days was actually a little bit of a culture shock, but it ended up being one of my favorite countries just because it was so different and like the food was amazing. It's very like vibrant. It's bustling everywhere. And the people are so nice, but it's just at first it was just really different. Like, it does not look like North America at all. It doesn't feel like anywhere that I've ever been to before. But I think that's like the excitement that I was looking for that I didn't know that I was looking for, as well as like a lot of people. So yeah, like I loved it.
That's awesome. So, because you were in this community, did you guys all stay like very close in the same cities, or were you kind of like dispersed, or how did that integrate within the trip?
Well, with this community, they arranged us so that we were all like staying in buildings very close by. And they wanted to make the experience a little bit more special. So they got us to stay in traditional Moroccan riads. These are types of housings that people in Morocco live in. Usually they're different families. Like picture an apartment building, but each family kind of has their own section. And then they have like a common, I guess, garden where they can share things. So it's very unique. And like, I really like being part of that. Like I didn't know about this before.
Yeah, that is so cool. It's very community based. I like it. I've seen a few pictures online from people that have gone to Morocco, and they all look very beautiful and colorful and like very artistic.
It's a very creative, very colorful way city.
That's awesome. So, did you guys stay in one city or did you move around?
Some of us stayed in the like the initial city, which was Marrakesh. Some of us wanted to move around and visit, like me. So I got to visit the coast, like to see the beach towns, and then there was an experience that was optional that most of us did, was to spend a night in the Sahara Desert. Yeah, go camel riding in the desert. So that was really cool.
That's such an experience.
And I also visited the Blue City. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Chefchaouen, and yeah, everything is blue. And you don't believe that everything is actually blue until you actually go there and see it.
Do you know the reasoning why everything is blue?
I think it's like because it was good for the environment, or like it symbolized something. But I don't know. I don't remember the exact reason.
I always wondered whenever I heard about it. I was like, "Oh, I wonder why they made the whole city." So how did the coastal city differ from Marrakesh? Or were they were
No, Cash is very bustling city, busy, colors everywhere, people moving all the time, people moving everywhere. Whereas like on the coast, it was a little bit more laid back. But you still see like a lot of people. There are a lot of markets near the beach, and it's very like action packed. Like people work so hard to bring the things to the market, and you can see that. You see the fishermen coming straight from the sea, dragging their fish, going to the market. It's a really inspiring thing to see, actually.
That sounds like such an amazing time. So after you did that, did you do another month trip or were you is that when you headed back?
I headed back after briefly. I actually took a shorter teaching job in Hong Kong after that because I wanted to experience living in Asia for a little bit. I'd never been to Asia besides going to China years before that. So, yeah, I got to live in Hong Kong. And then after I got to travel to Thailand, which was like one of my dream places to see.
How was that living in Hong Kong?
Hong Kong is a very busy city. And I wasn't prepared for how much people work there, and also like yeah, it's a very like work driven culture, and also how small the spaces were. Like I lived in an apartment like probably 1/8 the size of like what I have here, really like a shoebox. Yeah,
That's definitely something that would take getting used to.
yeah, yeah. It was quite an experience.
And then Thailand, what cities did you go to in Thailand?
In Thailand, I went to, I think I started in Phuket, which is by the ocean. And then I got to visit some of the islands around that. And then I went to Bangkok.
That's so fun. And how was it? Like, because you know, you said it was one of the places that you really wanted to go. So how did like your expectations meet reality?
Yeah, it was exactly like I thought it would be, just because I knew so many people that went before and they told me about their experiences, and I got some tips. I got some tips of what to do there. So like it was great. I mean, Phuket is a very lively town by the beach. It has something for everybody. So if you just want to relax and stay calm, it's got that. If you want nightlife, something more busy, it's got that. The food is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with the food out there. I feel like in most of the Asian countries, the food is just always. It's like once you have it out there, you don't want to get it anywhere else.
That's it, and I came back to North America, and I keep saying, like the thing we have at Thai restaurants, it's missing something. It's missing something. It's missing that thing they had in Thailand, right?
It really is. Oh my gosh. So then, where did life take you after Thailand?
After Thailand, that's when I actually like came back to Canada, and like slowly started building my community here. And now I've got a community like in Canada. I've got some people worldwide who know me from my travels and who pop on to my online things once in a while. And yeah, I'm also getting certified as a travel coach, so like making my community a bit bigger through that.
That's amazing. So, through your community, have you set up is your goal to set up like group trips like how the other community had, where you're doing like those kinds of things?
Yes, I'm actually planning my first retreat that's gonna be later this year.
Awesome.
It's gonna be like the end of October, beginning of November in Mexico City.
Okay. And how long is that one gonna be?
Yeah, it's gonna be 1 week, but it's gonna be like filled with adventures. So I have like cultural adventures and bucket list adventures and also some workshops. But I'm also inspired by like the communities like I've seen. So it's gonna be like very flexible. So I don't want people to feel forced that they have to do things on certain days. So like they have flexibility to kind of like choose what they want to do, what they don't want to do. But at the core of it is the connection, the way we connect like every day and like share things.
Wow, that sounds like such a fun time. How did you go about picking Mexico City to be the place?
Yeah, I got the idea when I was traveling there about 3 years ago. And like when I was traveling in Mexico City, I got to meet a lot of locals. Like for example, one day I was just talking to an artist who was showing me like his artwork and everything. And I was like, this is amazing. Do you like do anything? He's like, no, I just like do things for fun. Sometimes I do like these little classes. And I'm just like, like this is something that a lot of people could benefit from. So I actually like spoke to him like not long ago, say, hey, if I bring a group, would you like to do a class for my group? Right. And like, yeah, he was like so happy to hear that. Like my goal is to really like take people into people's lives and culture and then have those people share with each other.
Wow, that is so beautiful. And I feel like that's the really the perfect way to bring people in is to really just enjoy the culture and really get local people from that area. That's amazing. That sounds like such a fun time.
Yeah, that's something that we don't see enough of.
For sure. I definitely agree. And is this retreat, is it open to everyone? Is it open to women? Or when do like signups go open?
It is going to be open to everyone. Signups should be open by the end of next month. I'm kind of like putting the like finishing touches to it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that is so exciting. What has kind of like been the process for setting all of this up for you, being your first retreat?
It's definitely a learning process. Wait, I've been talking. There's so many people, people who've done it before, people who've gone on it. The most important thing is like, being open because like sometimes like there are some things that you envision, but you go, oh wait, like you might need some flexibility in order for that to work better. So that's what I've been like teaching myself to do, like doing things kind of with an open mind and like just learning as I go, learning from people, like learning from what I do myself.
Wow, that is so amazing. I wish you all the best. That's really exciting.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Do you like what is like your goal for the future? Like, do you see yourself like hosting retreats like a couple times a year, like once a month, or
Yeah, really. Eventually, I'd like to do them a couple of times a year. Like, they're really bucket list retreats because I really want people to take that leap like I did, right? And like find the same freedom that I did when I was traveling. So yeah, like my goal is to really help people like achieve that sense of freedom.
that is amazing. And do you think you'll do multiple in Mexico City, or will each retreat kind of be like a one-off where it's like you have this one chance to come here with me and then the next one's a different city?
I am thinking of like doing different cities because there's so many cities in the world. Right? There's so many things to do. So much to experience. Yeah.
That's amazing. What are, besides your amazing time in Mexico City, what are some other cities that you really are drawn to that like you feel like you'll go back to?
Thailand is definitely like a city that I would go back to. Like I loved everything like, in Thailand, the people, the weather, different types of experiences. Definitely Morocco. Like it actually has a special place in my heart because like I think that's the city that showed me that, there are different ways of life, right? And I also enjoyed Italy. Like it's just such a joyful country.
What cities did you stay at in Italy?
I I've been to several cities in Italy. I saw like Rome. I've seen Naples, Florence, Milan, Venice. Those are the major ones.
If you had to pick one, which one would you pick out of all of them?
Kind of hard. That's a hard question because every city in Italy is so different. And like every city has like something different to offer, an attraction to offer. I really like Florence just because like it had a laid back vibe with and the food was really good and the people were really friendly. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I saw you also spent some time in Greece.
I did. I spent some time in Greece this summer. I started off in Athens and then I like visited a couple of islands from there.
That sounds like such a fun time. How was that trip for you? Like, what were some of the highlights of that for you?
For me, like this was like mostly just like a vacation that I took like with some of my friends. We visited some popular islands and some like lesser known ones. So like the popular islands like Mykonos and Santorini that everybody knows. So I think the reason that I went to those, which is that like it's so popular and I had to just like see what they were about. Mykonos was just really crowded everywhere. It was like very touristy. I enjoyed it, but I spent too many days there. We were there for like I think 4 or 5 days, and I think like 2 days there would have been enough for me. But then I got to see like smaller islands that I'd never really heard of before, like Syros, really beautiful, very charming. So still an attraction because people from the mainland in Greece, they like to head off to the islands in summer. So I got to like talk to some local people from Greece there while I was there, and yeah, that's for me. That's a big reason why I travel. Is like I get to meet people from different countries and just learn about life there. Like learn about what makes the world go round and everything, and like for me that is always very inspiring.
Absolutely, I agree. And how would you say getting around Greece was? Was it pretty easy to get from island to island and around the islands, or?
It was actually pretty easy because like they have a very good ferry system. So you can book a ferry at the port or you can like use an app and like say, okay, I want to go from this island to this island. Like when's the next ferry and like kind of like book your ticket there and just get on the ferry. Yeah, yeah, I was actually really impressed with like the system. The only thing that I didn't like was the ferries tend to get chaotic because they're very popular. So when you're getting on the ferry, you're like hundreds of people just walking on, getting on at the same time. And if you have luggage like I did, like the luggage usually goes on the main floor. And then like the ferries or the decks and they're like the seats with some of them are kind of like mini cruise ships. Like they even have like a little restaurant, cafe, stores. Pretty spacious. But once you get in, you gotta find a place to put your luggage in that crowd of everybody, like 100 people trying to find a place to put that. And that's just very chaotic. Other than that, yeah, I was actually very impressed.
That sounds like a friend and I went to Hong Kong for a little couple of days and we did one of the train tours that goes up. And I felt like that reminds me of that train tour because it was like everyone was just like ramming trying to get into the train to get a seat. It was a free for all. It was so crazy.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta have some experiences like these when you travel.
So, with all the people that you've met all over, have you actually like stayed with them or do you just kind of meet up when you're there and like grab dinner or something?
Mhm. Oh, it depends. Some of the people that I meet, like we stay in touch after, and then like some there are couple of them where I've actually made good friends while traveling. So I'll try to meet up with them again, like in another country or something. Yeah, I was traveling in Europe a couple of years ago, and like I randomly met somebody like on a walking tour that I was on. And last year she actually came to my city here And she contacted me and like, oh hey, yes, let me show you around my city.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's like her own personal walking tour.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, that's one of the best ways to get to know a city, to have somebody who lives there show it to you.
Absolutely, because I feel like they get to show you such a different perspective than what you would get on the tourist tours.
Right, right. And if that happens, I usually tell them, like, don't worry too much about taking me to like the attractions, but like show me your favorite places just so I can get a sense of what people like.
That is so fun. So, what for you, like, what really like draws you to a country? How do you pick your next place to visit?
Usually, I usually have like a list of places. And I say, if I like to visit this place, I like to visit that place. But also, I like to meet up with people that I've met on my travels. So if I know that okay, somebody's going to be in this country, and it's a place that I want to visit, I'll say, okay, you know what? I know somebody who's going to be in this country at this time. Why don't I try to like kind of like plan something either in that country or nearby so I can kind of like travel, but also like know that, I won't be alone at some point.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so. Do you usually travel by yourself and just try to meet up with people, or is it usually like with a friend or
I do a mix of everything. Sometimes I go with friends. Sometimes I'll go by myself. But when I go by myself, like I'm never alone. I'm part of like so many like travel communities. So I'll usually know somebody or know somebody I met with during my travels. Or if I am in a city where I like really don't know anybody, I'll do what I do, like what I've done previously. Like I'll join a meetup or a tour, and then I'll naturally meet people there. So yeah, I'm never by myself, even though I go by myself sometimes.
absolutely? What are some of the things that you usually always do when you go visit a new city?
Um, I usually take one or two tours. So just to get a sense of like what are the must sees in the city, and it's usually like a walking tour. So like I could like walk, and usually you walk at your own pace, and then they'll show you like the main attractions, and then well, of course I like to try like the food, so I always ask people, like what are the food I must try in a city. And then I always try to connect to people, so I try to like join a community wherever I am, meet new people, like do something that I wouldn't like otherwise do in my own city.
It's awesome. What are like how do you find the communities when you're traveling to these new cities?
There are a lot of Facebook groups for travelers that I'm part of. So sometimes like if I'm in a city, let's say I'm in Mexico City, I'll just like type like Mexico City like travelers or something, and it'll see what groups come up. And like sometimes like you join groups, and then sometimes in the Facebook groups like, oh, there's a meetup here happening at this cafe, like join us if you're by yourself. Yeah, so I would do that. And other than that, there's meetup.com, there's sites like event sites like Eventbrite sometimes. They'll advertise meetups and little tours that are happening. So yeah.
I'll have to write that one down. I don't think I've ever actually done like I've done like walking tours and stuff like that, but I've never actually done like a group meetup with other travelers. That's really cool.
Yeah. It's so fun because, like usually like a lot of people they're by themselves. They also don't know anybody. So you connect over that, you bond, and then you get to know each other.
It's amazing. So, if you had someone that wanted to get into traveling, what's some advice that you would give them?
Yeah, the first thing I would say is like, don't be afraid to do it. Sometimes, like I know a lot of people, they don't want to go by themselves, and because like it sounds scary. So like you want to meet people, you will find a way to meet people. And like what usually like if you're traveling, if people see that you're by yourself, people will come up to you. People will like, ask you if you're okay, especially if they know that you're not from here or like, you look like Like you look friendly, but anyway, you're all alone. Like especially if you're in a tour, like in a touristy place where like travelers go to. So I would say, yeah, don't be afraid, like, especially if you're by yourself. And like, if that's still too scary, find a travel community like I did.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. Have you done, besides the travel community, have you done any like smaller group trips or was it just that month in Morocco?
Like I have done like a mix of types of group trips. Like I've done traditional tours, like tours that take you from a city via bus and you city hop, and I've done those. The difference between like joining a community and joining a tour is that like the community actually makes you feel like included in their things, right? So they'll organize fun nights, so they'll do things that help you get to know each other.
I definitely want to look into the community of traveling. That definitely sounds like something that kind of just adds that like cherry on the top to visiting a new city.
Yeah, exactly. Like it adds a different experience. Like, for me, I think like when I joined it, I was kind of looking for people in the same boat as me, and like that's where I found some. Keep traveling. There's so many things to do in the world, like so many things to experience. I tell people like life is really short and like, just make the most of it. Like just try things.
And then my last question is your community, is it just through your Instagram page or is it also on Facebook or like your own website?
Mhm. I have my Instagram. I have a Facebook group that you can join via my Instagram, and I do have a website that I'm kind of like revamping right now and putting the information for the retreat that I'll be holding later this year. So yeah. Yeah, it's called Go Places Now, and we really want people to go places now.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Kim, for your time today and for all your information. And good luck to you in Mexico City. I can't wait to see and hear all about it. That's gonna be so amazing.
Yeah, no problem. It was so fun talking to you. And yeah, I hope to meet you on one of my travels.